Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mary's little house. Everything's quiet. No pets sitting on my lap tonight. They're all tired. They're all sleeping. It's cold in Mary's little house. I couldn't get the furnace going. It's 60 degrees. It's a little cool. And both of my dogs, are Mary's little lamb dogs. Bichon Frises have been shorn. They lost their wool, their fur, and they're freezing. So I had to get blankets for them. They like to be all covered up in their beds, in their pillow, and in bed by the blankets because they shiver. The poor little things shiver. So the cat doesn't seem to. Marigold doesn't seem to be bothered by the cool weather. I'm so glad you came to Mary's Little House again. The subject of our crossfire number 6 is the present moment and the cross. When Jesus said to us, to his disciples, to those, if you wish to follow me, you must take up your cross, deny your very selves, and take up your cross daily and follow me. Didn't say that very well. But where do we find that cross? Is it beyond in the beautiful sky blue and beyond those fluffy clouds? Is it tomorrow? Is it yesterday? Well, you know already. It's right in this present moment. Oh my goodness, there's where we encounter God. The present moment is so sacred. It's a sanctuary. Because isn't a sanctuary is where we encounter God? Don't people leave their homes, their comfort zones and everything, and go on a long trip to a shrine, like Lourdes, where we encounter God under Mary's wonderful influence and presence, where they encounter God in the Holy Land where Jesus walked and lived and suffered and died and rose. Those are sanctuaries where we experience God in a special way. But the present moment's a sanctuary too, because God's right there, and He's showing us His will. And His will is denying our very selves. We have to do that, because if we choose our will, we cut God off, or we don't look at what God's trying to do with us. And we know that God is infinitely wise and all-loving, and He wants only the best for us. So His will is in the present moment. And that's where our cross is, that Jesus wants us to if you wish to follow me, you must deny your very selves, take up your cross and follow me. Take up your cross daily and follow me. He even mentions daily. I like that, as it gets down to the nitty-gritty. This day, this moment, I'm talking to you on YouTube. The cross, we embrace God's will, and we embrace our cross in this moment. It is so important. Today, after I gave you that talk yesterday about offering all that we do and all that we suffer for in reparation to God for the offenses committed against Him, the lack of love He didn't receive, we make up for that, for the sins, our own sins, my sins, and the sins of the world, and for the salvation of sinners, that they may be conversion of sinners, so they won't go to hell, and they won't be miserable for the rest of their lives in the state of sin, which is living hell. I talked about the Fatima message to the little children, that Mary said, will you offer to God all that all the sufferings He wishes to give you for the reparation for the sins against God, offenses against God, and for the conversion of sinners. Well, I was very aware of today because everything I was doing the dishes, being cold and shivering because I can't know how to work the furnace now. Um, Angel was walking all around just bothering me. She can't see very well and she bumps into things, and whenever she bumps into a chair leg, I feel so bad for her. But she just wants to walk, and I get sort of nervous and tired of it, and feel bad when she bumps into things. Well, that was my cross. When she does that, I accept. I try. This is for you, Lord. This is for the conversion of sinners. I want to offer everything. And there were many frustrations I felt today. With the phone calls coming at the most inconvenient time or whatever. But with the cross and with accepting the cross, that's a grace. And there's a gift because I see that when I am generous, when I welcome that phone call as if I've just been waiting for them to call, God gives us the grace to do that. And sometimes when Angel was running around, I was really getting irritated, feeling bad for her, and I wish she would stop. Angel's the dog. She's the one that's partly blind and very feeble. But I was praying to God at the same time, give me patience. Don't let me lose it with Angel. Don't let me rebel against it, or like said, I wish she wouldn't do it. Of course I wish she wouldn't do it, but I mean my own will and not the Father's will. God gives us the grace even to pray for patience when we see we're losing it, or that we're about ready to take back what we were trying to give, trying to offer for reparation for the offenses committed against our God, who deserves all our love, and for the conversion of sinners. So when He calls us to carry our cross daily, when He calls us to encounter the cross, the Father's will each moment, He gives us the graces to do it. And so this day has been difficult, but there's something strong in me. There's something that's solid, because when we stay in the present moment, we stay in God. We stay on the rock. We're not traveling on our feelings, or on cardboard boxes that will, when the rain comes, they will collapse. The cardboard boxes of consolation, of everything going so well. Oh, it's all right for everything going well. That's God. I can handle that because as a gift from God. But if He wants to take it away, if He wants to rain on my parade, it's up to Him, and I thank God for that. That's even a greater gift. For it's easy to take His gifts, but it's harder to take His crosses. And it's more love. It's more love. He gives me a chance to show Him that I really love Him, that I'm not a fair weather friend, that I love Him in good times and in bad times. So the present moment and the cross is where we find our cross. And by the way, remember, there's only one cross that really saves. It's Jesus' cross. Easter, you see all around the churches. I'm so happy they have this cross with a drape, a white drape. Joyfully, Jesus is risen. There's no longer a corpus of Jesus on the cross. There's nothing there because Jesus is not on there. He was died and buried on the third day, rose from the dead. His body is in heaven now. Jesus no longer needs a cross, and I've always told you about that. When I see that empty cross, I tell Jesus, you don't need it anymore. I call it the vacant cross, and let me have it. Not that I'm the biggest wimp in the world, and I'm afraid of things, but he gives us even, lets us be a wimp and lets us be sort of afraid sometimes, but he gives us the courage to overcome our fear, overcome our wimpiness, and to embrace what he is doing in the present moment. And sometimes we only can handle what he's giving us in the moment. If we look over his shoulder, if we in the embrace of his love and his of his will, then we get afraid. We got to stay in the moment, in this present moment. God gives us the graces to bear this cross in this moment. So this moment is so holy. Every moment is holy then. It's a time of love. It's a time of receiving his love and giving our love, especially in times of suffering, and doing it for God's glory and for the conversion of sinners. God bless you now. Thank you for coming. Let us pray for one another. And if there's any way you could share this series of Crossfire with people who are bedridden, people who are homebound, please do. Please do. If you think they would give them comfort and help to see that they're not forgotten, and that God is calling them to do the most powerful work is to share his cross with them in their sufferings and their being so limited and restricted that they could do great things for the Lord, saving souls by offering their sufferings with Jesus on the cross. God bless you now.